going to be visible in the side. Okay, now we are live, I guess.
Okay.
There's a little delay, Rene, by the way. Yes. Yes, we are live.
Okay, good. So,
I mean, let's give 5 minutes to the people who are on the way, but we can chit chat in the meantime.
okay.
Very good. So it became like a signature opening question, like a warm-up question. What do you do these days? Do you train, or do you just work? Or
No, and in these days, I have in my normal job, I have a lot of work. So, but I stay at home and I have to do some online courses. I have to the marine ecology instructor, the manta ray, and all this stuff. And yes, it was really good. And so I can do something at home. So by the learning, I hold my breath and do some exercises. And it was really good. So
super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think for the most of all freedivers in these days or by this lockdown, it's the most of them train at home or do something, or yes, we cannot go to the lakes or to the rivers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've ever done this much of stretching in my life ever.
Really?
Yeah, like I do these online sessions 3 times a week, and mostly one is breath holding, like with my people, it's open for everyone, for all free divers. One day it's breath holding, one day it's like a particular body stretching, legs or chest or shoulder or you name it. And on top of that, one day it is like fitness training. But of course, when you train fitness, you end up stretching again.
Yeah.
So I am getting more flexible and flexible.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me also. So sometimes I do some stretching. So I have now the last 3 weeks I do not so much. So for 2 days I have do some stretchings, and then I feel some muscle pain, from the stretchings and this thing. So now I start again to do all or 2 or 3 weeks to do some stretching or these things. Yes.
Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't hurt, it keeps you. Yeah. So
then
the idea is to stretch, not to break.
When it's a little bit hurt, you know that you lie.
Yeah.
Yes, and yeah. So
nice.
You have some questions again, or so?
I think we can slowly. Let me check how many viewers we have already. It's 50 people watching us already.
Really?
And yeah, of course. It's a good community.
Okay, perfect.
Our family is big, following us all the time. Yeah.
I know the family in Switzerland and all these things. We are, a small group of all.
Well, slow. I mean, small, but getting bigger and bigger every day.
I hope.
Yeah.
So.
Super nice. Okay. Shall we start?
Okay.
Very nice. Okay. Welcome everyone to Freedive Friday. Today we have a special guest from Switzerland, Rene Trost, and we will be digging deeper into lake and river freediving, which is his specialty. For the ones who are joining us for the first time, let me introduce myself. My name is Memo. I work in SSI as a freediving training director, and Rene is an SSI freediving instructor trainer, and a very good one. Welcome, Rene.
Thanks, Memo. You're also one of the best directors that I know.
Thank you very much. How are you? Everything okay these days?
Yes, perfect. So a lot of work, but everything is okay. So the days and the hours is go fast, really. So
Yeah, yeah,
I think
exactly.
the same is by you, and yeah.
Something happened with the lockdowns. The day they started, I think it's not 24 hours a day anymore. It's like 22.
Yeah.
They just run faster.
Yeah,
I cannot control it.
You look at the time and then I say, okay, now we have a lot of times. You look again and then, oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly. It is crazy. Anyway, have you started to free dive? I mean, are you allowed to get in the water?
Yes, now you can go, but we have from the government, we have some rules that we have to do. So this means that we have on the buoy, that we have in the middle, like a plexiglass.
Separated
on the middle of the buoy, so you can speak and talk with your students, or with your training buddies. But yeah, I think it's a little bit too, yeah. Anyway, so
yeah.
I mean, we have a mask, we have a snorkel, so
make a video for us.
Yeah,
I would like to enjoy it. Yeah,
I send it to you. So.
Thank you very much. Okay, before we get into our questions, let me remind a few things to our viewers. You are more than welcome to ask any question that you have in your mind. I will be keeping a note of them, and personally will ask everything to Rene. So don't hesitate. Our mission is to make these Freedive Friday sessions as interactive as possible, and of course, answer all the questions that you have in your mind. Super nice. Okay, for the ones who don't know, Rene, where are you from, and where do you live now?
So I am from Switzerland, and I live also in Switzerland, but in the canton St. Gallen. It's the country St. Gallen, in a small village. It's near the mountains. So yeah, that's the point, that I go to the lakes and to the mountain lakes and to the rivers. We have no sea, so like by you, Memo, that we can go. And yes, so we use a lot of seas here, as lakes here, and then rivers, and so.
But it is. I really think it's extremely inspiring, you know, to free dive this often and this actively in the rivers and the lakes, which we will come to that point in a few minutes. Yeah. So I want our viewers to know a little bit more about you. So I have my question set, like the introduction question set. How old were you when you started to free dive? How did it start for you?
Yes, it was in the school. So there we have some swimming lessons. So, and my swim teacher hated me really. I was 6 or 7, and I was more underwater than on the surface. It was so when I was underwater, I feel like home.
Yeah.
When I was on the surface, I see the face from my from my teacher, and he was really angry about me that I was the half time underwater. So yes, so I started, and so as we go with my family, with my parents, so we go to holidays. So we will stay there. Some lakes. I go in to look, and yes, so I started, and this was in 1990. I start with the normal scuba diving course.
Yeah.
So I found in Switzerland nobody that teach freediving. So I started with scuba diving.
Yes.
And then I make a lot of courses. Yes. So, but in my off time, I was also a lot in the water to do some freediving with friends, and it was not professional. So when sometimes when I think back what we're doing, it was
Of course.
Really.
Of course.
Yes.
We get goosebumps, yeah?
Yeah.
So those were the days which shouldn't be mentioned ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, dark
Yes.
past.
So I started, and then I started with professional courses. So I make my level 1.
When was it?
It was in 2005 or 2006. So I was in Germany, and I have there some courses with there was the AIDA level 1.
Yes.
And then I switched it to SSI, makes my level 2, level 3, then my instructor. So, and then 2014, I start with the instructor training course in Egypt. Yes, and then I begin to teach instructors and these things. I love it, really. It's
super nice. More or less, we did our instructor trainer seminars at the same time. Then I became a trainer at 2014 as well.
Yeah. You was you was also in Egypt by Lotta, huh?
Yes, with Ronnie and Lotta.
Yeah, I was in, I think 2 or 3 months later, I was also in Egypt with Ronnie and Andreas Wies.
Yes.
And I have to do with the normal scuba divers. Where we have to his trainer course. I was with.
By then there was no freediving trainer directly.
Yes.
To teach the trainers. Yeah. Anyway, nice memories. So another question: when you develop this passion for freediving, when your interest gets into the next level, when you were young, how did your parents take it? What did they scare, or they were cool with it? How was it?
No, I'm not scared. I think she have always said to me, yes, you know what you do, and please be careful what you do. So she are happy when I come back in the,
of course,
in the evening, and it's also good. No, no. My parents was really cool. She said, do your thing, but you have to know where is your limit, and so it was good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you get the family support. Careers. Yeah, we were the lucky ones. I got my family support as well all the time. But of course, like when I get more passionate with deeper freediving, they had their moments like,
really?
don't dive too deep. Just before I'm going to a competition, for example, like don't dive too deep. And it's like, okay.
And what she said when you go, then you go to competition, and then was
of course, no. I simply lied to my mom and I say, yeah, I'm not going deep, but I went deep. So. That was it. Yeah. Look, I think we met in 2014 or something, like maybe from the first year that we became ITs. And you, in my mind, you are a freediver like a Swiss Army knife. Not because you're from Switzerland, but when I think about you, when I think about Rene likes to do all disciplines of freediving, like I know you like to do variable weight, constant weight, bifin, monofin, free immersion, like everything. You have like a little bit of everything in your mix, in your menu. Yeah. So which is your favorite discipline? Do you have a favorite child? Or a stepchild that you don't like so much?
No, I like. So let me explain. For 1 year, I have built with a friend of mine my own sled. Yes.
Yeah, I remember the photos. Yeah.
Yes, and yes, there is. I love really when we train with the sled, but I love it also constant weight. I love free immersion. I love it also with the monofin. It's I have no special discipline that I say really. So it's on me when I wake up in the morning. I go to training. So when I want to do free immersion, I do free immersion. So it's yes. From day to day, it's different. So Yes,
It's
do
nice.
that.
I think it's very nice to be spontaneous and to pick one from your wardrobe and say like, I'm gonna wear this today.
Really? Or I see, there is my monofin. Okay, come with me. We go to like this. Yeah. And,
yeah, beautiful.
And what is your favorite discipline?
Well, I mean, I am a little bit like you. I like all of them a lot, but normally I get really addicted with one every season. Let's say one season I really like the monofin. The other season somehow free immersion becomes my favorite one. And the other season, you know, no fin becomes my favorite one. And every season when I focus on one discipline, I get a deeper meaning from that discipline, you know, like better relaxation, the importance of the technique, or adjusting the pressure, or developing your flexibility in general. So I always thought like it's like a table, you know, you just cannot make the table balanced with 3 legs growing. You need the 4th leg at the same time to make it like solid. But I like them a lot. Lately, I think this year, I haven't done it yet. So freediving will start in a couple of days. Free immersion and constant weight bifins were my favorite.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
One I feel like very hardcore, you know. I feel like I'm riding a motorbike, and you know, like and the other one is super peaceful and nice, and I use my arms. It's beautiful feeling. Yeah, very nice. So, what is freediving for you? Is it your main job, or are you doing it like a second profession? Let's say.
No, freediving is for me. It's like my second job. I have my main job. I work with metal. I go on the roof and make the rooftops and like this.
Beautiful.
So, but it's from year to year different. So in 2016 I work on my main job maybe 40% and do 60% for the freediving, for the courses and my events and like this. So I was a lot of time. I was 2-3 weeks. I was in the Maldives, then I was in Croatia. I stayed in Italy. So for me, it was too much. And then I said, okay, a little bit slower. And then so 1 year later, it was 50-50. And now I think is it 70% is my main job and 30% I do courses and events. So it's but I do this all in my off time. I have a 100% job normally, and the rest I do.
You try to fit all the freediving adventures in your off time.
Yes.
Whenever you're not working.
Yeah, maybe I can. From my holidays, I can pick up 2 or 3 days, but I have only 5 weeks per year that I can use. Maybe you have more. I don't know, Memo.
I don't think I have holidays.
Yes,
I don't feel so. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, and so I can switch it so that I have time with my family, that I can go to holiday, and the rest I use it for my events and like this. And yes.
Yeah. I mean, now I know you are being very humble. For the ones who don't know, many of you don't know, but Rene was the most certifying instructor trainer of SSI in the world in when? 2016.
2016, yes.
Yeah, that year burned him.
Yes. This was really a crazy year for me. Yes, maybe in this year, really, there have my main job was maybe 20%, and the rest courses, instructor courses. It's in the end of the year, I'd say it was too much. It was a really good year with a lot of experiences. Yes. I know a lot of good peoples, and but it was too much. I was really done. Finish.
Yes,
So
it is.
tired and yeah.
Overworking is like overtraining. It affects your psychology. You get your, exhaustion, which you cannot shake off easily. So obviously, we try to catch a balance in our life. Why I said I feel like I have no holiday is almost all our holidays are destination based, like activity based. So when I plan a holiday, I always think like, but there's a competition there. Maybe it's nice to go. And when I go for a competition, I always think about how to make freediving more bigger. So I sort of end up creating business.
Yes, but
I usually find myself doing an instructor course.
Yes. But I think for you, when you go to competitions, you see a lot of friends, or?
Yes, we spoke about this before, but yes, now it is like, let's go back to the club kind of feeling it gives me. I see old friends, I meet new friends, but at the end of the day, it's for once I get the opportunity to dive for myself. There are good people who are taking care of me, and I am not taking care of them. So it is a big luxury, So I know that you are very much specialized in freediving in the lakes and rivers because of where you live in the Swiss Alps. And these are special conditions. Rivers can be wild, or lakes can be super cold or dark, or good. Just the opposite. It can be the super beautiful scenery as well. And I really, really want to learn more about it. So we know how it started because these were the things. But how is river or lake freediving in Switzerland? Is it popular, or did you create a community who are going there regularly? How is it now?
Yes, I think it's growing up, so that the interest is to go to freediving in the rivers and mountain lakes, and I think in the south part in Switzerland, in the near of Italy, in the Ticino. There we have the river. We have there the Verzasca and the Macha River. There is really crystal clear, and it's super nice to freediving there.
Now we will see some photos.
Yes, and this one, what we see here, this picture, this is a mountain lake on 2,150 meters. There is summer. It's 25 degrees outside, and the water temperature is 4 grade. So
nice.
When you not know it, you jump in with your
and you become like a man of steel.
Yes. So when you jump in, you hold your breath automatically,
Of course, natural instinct.
No, and yes, and so I start with events that I organize some weekends in the mountain lakes, that we have there some small hotels, but there is I think these hotels is only for normally for the climbers, and like this they go to the rocks, and but it's really nice in the evening when you sit there, you eat. And we have the fins behind us, and the climbers ask us, what you doing here? You go climbing, or what you do? No, we go freediving in the lakes, and it's really super funny with these guys in the evening to stay there.
So how does it happen? Do you hike to the lakes, or do you just take the car and stop by the lake and jump in the water?
No, we're hiking. There is
wow.
This makes adventure. This is really, I think, we have to work before you hiking. So when you stay there on the lake, it's like a present that you become. So super nice. We can go in, and yes, you can explore all the things underwater. You have a lot of trees there is in the lake, and you see also here on the picture. It's crystal clear. You have a visibility from 25 to 30 meters, and
it's amazing for a lake. 25 to 30 is
it's
magnificent. It's
really, you can stay on the bottom of the sea. You look and you see your friends over there. It's really super nice, and it's for me one of the best experiences that I have there. When we going to new lakes, or we have
how do you plan the trip? Like, do you have a map or a booklet of lakes and rivers of Alps, and you just open and find one and you say, okay, this is the destination for this weekend? Like, how does it happen?
Yes, I have, it gives books that you can officially sell, but normally I have friends, and these friends have friends, and say, in this Alp you have a lake, you go there and look. It's it's not so much people know that, so then we go there to look. So on the most of these things, when we are first there, then you do some post on Facebook or something else. So 1 or 2 weeks later, you have people there. They go to look.
Look at this visibility. So
nice.
Yes,
and no, I have also read. So with a friend of me, we have read a manual for freediving in rivers and lakes. So what you have to look, it's a unique course, and yes, it's a really good one. I send it to you.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Be my instructor. I come to Switzerland, we go and dive together.
Come to with me, Memo.
A question, like, I mean, by the way you are talking and describing these adventures, it sounds like not 2 weekends you are diving at the same location. It's always a new destination. How many lakes and rivers we are talking about? Is it like plenty enough to go, or like few?
No, it's these lakes that I have that are going. There is maybe 10 or 12 lakes. And in the rivers we have 3 rivers that are going. So
beautiful.
But in these rivers you have new places that we go to look, and
of course.
It's not the same thing or the same place that
the same part of the river, maybe a little bit up or down.
Yes, but in the beginning, when I have peoples that are the first time in the rivers, then we go to some part of the river. There is easy to go in, and you have not so much current. So it's
wait, keep those words. I want to ask more about river freediving. That is something I genuinely want to learn. Okay. Once I heard from a friend of mine, an Austrian guy. He said, like, at some part of the spring, when the snow water melts, so sometimes it can flood some valleys full of flowers. So it feels like freediving is like a extraterrestrial experience. You just fly in a flower garden because the flowers are still fresh. They're not like this. So do you happen to have this kind of pictures? Do you happen to have this kind of diving as well in Switzerland?
Yes, but I have no picture at the moment. But I have seen also in the south part of the Switzerland, in the Verzaska. So there is also sometimes that you have some flowers and things in the water. So
beautiful.
When you're down on 5-6 meters, it's you have the feeling. So it's like a pot of tea, So
super nice. Beautiful. And what is normally, I mean, I'm assuming it's cold.
It's normally in the summertime you have 10 or 11 degrees. So when you're lucky, you have 13.
Oh my God.
It's really fresh.
Yeah, it keeps you fresh.
But you have a perfect visibility, really. That's
Yeah, I can
super
imagine.
nice. And you can see these special rocks that yes, you can see all from.
Yeah. What about any lake life? Do you see any fish or some other animals, or
Yes, sometimes.
Or are they all frozen?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
look. Yeah, and it passes like that. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you see small ones. So normally when we go in, you see fishes, but only from behind. So there was a fish, and when you are lucky, come back to look what you're doing. Sometimes we see some small snakes, but there is outside. And yes, or we have been when you have deeper parts on the lake, there is really still, and you have not so currents. So there you have some under the trees, you have fish small ones, and there is really nice to see. So also it's really magical with the light when the light shine into the water.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yes, you make
beautiful
feel like another world.
Yeah, exactly. What about the rivers? Many of us think like freediving in a river is almost impossible. I tried once in my life, and it was not running fast. So it was a easy entry, easy stroll. So I snorkeled a little bit, but I know that particular river, even that can get wild. So how do you do that? What are the special considerations? Like, are there any, let's say, safety precautions that you take before you freedive in the rivers?
Before we go in, so we have to see how much you have current. So and it's easily to look. It's possible to go in or not. So that we're also teaching when we have students. So then we have also safety rules that we're doing. So we have 5 meters before we go out of the entry point. We have a line, a rope on the bottom on the river with stones. So that's remember the freedive. Okay, I go 5 meters behind there. We go out. So then we have 2 meters before. Maybe we have wilder waters. We have a line on the surface. So when you forget or you miss the point to go out, you can grab the rope there and you can push out.
You can catch the rope.
Yes, you can catch the rope and you go out there.
Depending on the river, can it be like entry and exit points are two different places? You start upriver, but like exit downriver.
Yes. So when it's possible, we have some points that we go in. We drive over there with the car.
Yeah.
You drop in. So you come down with the small current. You can see all, and maybe 400 or 500 meters later you can go out. And so we have the entry point.
Very nice.
Yes, it's really super nice to.
Very nice. Yeah. I love, a breaking point in my freediving career. I lived almost 3 years in Gibraltar, the Straits of Gibraltar.
Really?
Yeah. And there the water is like a river. The tide affects the current ridiculously, like it's huge currents. So of course, me and my buddy, we were planning, always checking the tide tables to control the situation and make our freediving experience as safe as possible. But that place taught us so much about freediving in the high current. So it is pretty special. You learn how to use the water movement to help you. Like if you don't fight with it, you just use it and it helps you, like to make your ascent easier, or if you want to, position yourself at the bottom, you have to think about the current. Otherwise, it can just turn you over, flip it over.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. These are technical freediving topics.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yes. So I think the best way that you can speak over that, try it. You go.
Yeah, exactly.
Try
I
it.
agree.
So you have the feeling also, and I think for freedivers there is he loves to see much, and he have a good visibility. There is a really good experience. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Experience is everything in freediving.
It is.
That makes us real freedivers. Yeah.
So you can learn also a lot of yourself, and when you have these experiences, and But I think you know that same, that you know that self, that you have also a lot of experiences in freediving, Memo, and
yes, I mean like I said, learning something new, experiencing something new is priceless. It's really, it is such a nice feeling to feel more competent on the topic, to increase your wisdom on the topic.
Yeah.
And you know what we say? It's like, now it's a Diver Diamond advertisement, but like, it's the correct knowledge combined with the right skills, a lot of experience, and when you just add right equipment in this equation, you just create the right diver. So
it is.
This is the formula. Secret recipe to become the real freediver. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, can you remember any special memories from your lake or freediving stories? Like, do you have a story in your mind which has its place, the special place?
Yes, one of the special places that I have. This was by a mountain lake, and we was there on 2,200 meters, and we hiking 2.5 hours to this point, and then we jump in, and it's and this moment, the first dive that we do.
How long do you hike to reach the lake?
This lake, it was 2.5 hours.
Beautiful, nice.
With
the backpack, with gear and everything.
Weight
the weight belt.
And 4 and 5 kilos.
Yes.
And I think the same, the whole back is weight 25 kilo.
Oof.
With water, a lot of water, and yes, with the camera, with the big one.
Oof.
Yes. We sweat a lot. It's
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of the best experiences that I have. So, but all things what we do, it's I cannot. All is great what we do.
Look, of course, like freediving in the ocean is something which majority of us feel comfortable, because it feels like the right place. But there's no right or wrong place for freediving in theory. Of course, there are some. If it is dangerous, it is the wrong place. But from a distance, freediving in a river or a dark lake sounds like scary. Yeah. But I don't think it is. It is that much of scary. Have you ever felt like really scared in a lake?
No, but for what you want scary? For the darkness or for?
Yeah, exactly. And in Swiss Alps there are no alligators or.
No. There is also the Nessie that you can see, but
yeah.
No, or cow or something else when you come out, and no, it's. I think it's all a mental thing.
Yes, exactly. We create our own fears all the time.
It's like the same when I teach students, and I say to them, okay, after 12 meters, it's dark. So I know at the beginning, a lot of students, she has really mental problems, and she turned about 7-8 meters. It's a little bit dark, and she come up. So what I do is I do it on my bottom weight. I have some light.
Like a flashlight.
Yeah, a flashlight.
Very nice.
So I can say to my students, please follow the lights, follow. It's a little
beautiful, beautiful. With the light.
But it works.
You're gonna be enlightened.
But it works, Memo, really. So
I can imagine.
Down and it's perfect. So I think with these mental things. So I know a lot of people, they go to holiday, it go to the sea. So when she not can see anymore the bottom or the sandy bottom, there comes a shark and something else, and yes, it's all a mind.
You know, I was reading a couple of papers a while ago, and I was looking for the description of anxiety. So it is described as worrying about the unhappened future. So anxiety is something totally that you create in your mind. It didn't happen. In freediving, this is so easy to feel anxious. When you don't see a couple of meters ahead, you start fantasizing, you start worrying. But this is all happening in your head. There's no fact, or there is no such thing in reality. But of course, we have to sign a truce. We have to live in peace while freediving with our head. First thing to be peaceful, it's the head. Yeah,
it is.
But of course, it always happens.
Yeah, but I think Memo?
Corina is asking, what thickness is your wetsuit? How do you keep yourself warm in best 13-degree situations?
My thickness from the wetsuit.
Yes.
The 1 meter. No, no. I use normally 5 mil with smooth skin open cell inside, and normally nylon outside. So
nylon outside. Okay.
It's when you're climbing over the rocks and these things. Also, when you have an entry points by rivers or by lakes, you have a lot of rocks. So when you sit there or you do something and you have a smooth skin outside,
so you can damage it, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. I also have a question for you. I just, it hit me. At 2,200 meter altitude, above sea level, there should be a little bit of a difficulty in breathing. Is it? Do you feel like there is less oxygen and your breath holding times are getting affected?
Yes, you have. So when you have normally free dives on normal sea level or 400 or 500 meters, and you have free dives from, I say 1 minute 30 to 2 minutes 30, or like this. So you have in this high altitude. So you have free dives from 45 seconds to 1 minute. So not more. So you feel it.
Almost like 30% to 50% down.
Yes, I think so. 45, 50%. Yeah, you feel it really. There's and you make also not so much free dives. You feel.
It's like out of breath kind of feeling. Yeah.
You feel that you have not so much oxygen, and so you have to see at the beginning where I want to go down, what I have to look. So in my first time, it was up, down, and then I come up. So,
but it must be very nice training to increase the number of red blood cells in your blood, and you must be like a Superman when you go to Maldives. Like breath holding every dive 6 minutes. So
I have one experience that I was in the mountains.
Yeah.
But I was there to skiing also on 3,500 meters. So in the evening I come back, I go to training. And this was my first time. I have to do there, train with the monofin, and I was only by 80, 85 meters from by dynamic. But on this evening, I do 110. So I think you have...
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You see? It works. Yeah.
You have more red. You have more oxygen in your blood.
Exactly. Your blood is able to carry more oxygen as you develop more blood cells, red blood cells.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You know, in our freediving career, most of us had some barriers. You know, name the topic. It can be deep diving where you struggle with equalization, or it can be long breath holds where you mentally suffer and cannot adapt to the conditions. Have you ever had this kind of a problem in your history of freediving?
Yes, I think there have, maybe not everyone, but for me was also at the beginning, I have no problems to hold longer my breath to 4 minutes, 4:30, like this. So, but then when I start with deep diving, so I feel at 25, 30 meters, I have a problem with my equalization.
Yes.
And then I have work on this. So this was my barrier that I have. So I read a lot of books and make a lot of exercise. And then I have, but my next deep dives, I have really to think on this. Yes, like mouse feel or like this.
Yeah.
I think over that. So you can to think too much over these things. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
And then this was a little bit a problem for me. And then I stopped. So and then I go. The next three dives, I've said to me, okay, I do this for me. I want to enjoy and relax and not thinking about equalization or like this or these things. So and then it works. When you're not too much have minds over these things, it works. So and then yeah.
Yes, exactly. I agree. I totally agree. Most of the time, either we are too much performance oriented.
Yes.
You know, like we have our numbers in our head, which we would like to achieve, and this puts stress in our, on ourselves, or we are lacking experience. We need more repetition of the dive. We know something is uncomfortable, but we always think it is just the equalization because you see equalization is not working, but maybe it's not the technique. It's lack of flexibility here on your chest. Yeah. So that makes you feel uncomfortable, and first thing suffers is the equalization. Yeah. I agree with you. More repetition and less thinking, freediving for fun, for the sake of enjoying every dive is absolutely the solution for all these problems.
I think it's good to know the right technique for freediving, but for me is the most important things that you, when you go in the water, that you feel the water, that you can enjoying, that you have fun, that you have a good time with your friends, that you can train. So maybe one of them have a tip for you or something else. And it's like this, that what you say with this orientation on performances, deeper, you want by then dynamic more or like this, it's block you. So I think when you have fun, a good time in the water, the performance, it comes from alone. So
so I know that you travel quite a lot. You know, like you freedived in Maldives, you freedived in other places, in Spain, in Malta. So you travel. You try to travel as much as you can. What is your favorite place so far?
My favorite place?
Not apart from your hometown.
No. Apart from my hometown.
Yes. Let's put it here in your favorite spot. Like hometown is hometown. Obviously, we all love our hometown. But what else?
No, in my hometown it's the south part of Switzerland. It's the rivers where Tasca and Macha, and that's for me the favorite place. Yes, and
if I give you a flight ticket and a hotel reservation for free, I pay everything, and you choose one spot in the world, where would it be? So where shall I send you to Freedive? What is your dream place in the mind?
No, my dream place. So I go. That we have talked before we start with the meeting. So I go in the end of November, beginning of December. I go to Norway to freediving with humpbacks and orcas.
Nice.
Yes, and
nice.
This was a long time a dream of me that I won't go there. So yes, I was in 2013. I was in. I was in the Silver Banks.
Okay.
The Silver Banks.
Mm-hmm.
I have a free dive there also with what in this it was snorkeling with humpbacks.
Nice.
Yeah, this I like it to be in the water with
big mammals.
Yes, really, I love it. Also with sharks or yes, it's fascinate me. It's yeah.
Exactly.
So maybe in your town when you go to freediving, you have sharks there, or?
Well, I mean, if I say we don't have sharks, I would be lying. But it takes significantly a lot of effort to find any shark because sharks don't want to find you. So that is a reality.
Okay.
So yes, we have a couple of places which you can see, if you're lucky, some sharks late September. They come to the shallow waters, but I tell you, they really don't like human in my waters. So you have to be like a ninja. You don't make any noise. You hide yourself in the shadows. You make perfect duck dives, no noise at all. And maybe if you're lucky, you can see a shark.
Okay.
When they see you, they disappear immediately. So these are like very shy but beautiful animal. Like the taboo of a shark in our mind, it's so different. You know, we always imagine this vicious predator.
Yeah.
Really, like we are the vicious predator. Sharks are just poor sharks. Yeah.
Yes.
Carl is asking a question. Tell us a little bit more about freediving under the ice, because we showed the photo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we have here some nice places. It's 1 hour from my hometown. So we go there every year in November or December.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this ice. So, but on this picture, what you see, you have to meaning that the ice is really thick, but in this time, it was 3 or 4 centimeters.
Okay, not
so
so
you
thick.
can hit them and it's broken. So it's not so stressful. So, but for the mind, when you see some pictures, a lot of people ask me, yes, we have some, you cannot go out when you want and like this, but it's beautiful. And also you cannot see here on the picture, we have a safety diver with the scuba diver in the water. And it's,
I see. Okay.
Yes, you cannot see here.
Do you set up a guideline from the entry point, from the hall of entry to, you know, people, because that is our biggest fear, to lose your orientation under the ice. So you just cannot see where the entry was.
Really. And we have also ropes that we have under the water that you see at the line. So we have not only one hole that we go in, we have a lot of different holes that you can go out when you want. So, and also we have here some scuba diver in the water. It's not so deep. It's 6 or 7 meters on this place. And yes, so you have not so a risk. So when you have one, there have stress or something else. So the scuba diver can hit him with you give him air. Yes. So
okay. So you are already always getting in the water with a backup.
Yes, every time. So also when we go to see new places or something else, we have a really good backup. What we're doing, we plan all these things. What is when we have a worst case? What we have to do? Yes, it's we go not that we have no plan or like this. We have really a plan what we do and follow them step for step. And
exactly, very important in any kind of expedition. You know, I'm sure you know him. We have a very experienced tech diver in our family, in SSI family, Andreas Kron.
Yes.
And he has his checklist. Tech diving with rebreathers had its own, special checklist. Before every dive, they just follow every item one by one religiously. And this guy I'm talking wrote these checklists. So he is the guy who created the checklist, but still, after thousands of dives, still following the checklist. Item by item, like not skipping any line one time.
Yeah.
Of course, planning and following the plan is absolutely the most important thing in this kind of expedition dives. I agree. Yeah.
No, really. So under the ice, there it's you have to know what you do. So it's not yes, we see also a lot of people that make this under the ice, these things, free divers, but you have no experiences in that. So yes,
it's risky. We don't want risky.
It's really risky.
Yeah, I can imagine. So my last question: if you give 2 advices to someone who would like to start freediving, what would you say?
Yes.
Don't say come and find me.
No. What can I say? So enjoy the water.
That is most important. I agree.
And feel free and do not too much minds or what can. Yes, it's what I say. It's not so.
No, I totally agree. Enjoying the water is absolutely very much, and not making it like a extremely big issue in your mind is also important for the development of freediving. But I also want to add, we say it multiple times, freediving needs a good foundation, which you have to develop good safety skills, and you cannot do it without a real person. Go and find a real person to take a good class.
Yes,
that is important.
Yes, it's also that you find a good instructor that you trust, that you can say, okay, I come with you. So in the beginning, I see that by my students that comes in the first course, and they have really no any experiences with freediving. So the most of them, he makes some snorkel trips or swimmers or something else. So yes, but I think the best thing, enjoy, and for all water lovers, it's easy to learn freediving.
Exactly. So next week here on Freedive Friday, we are going to have a medical doctor. She will be talking about freediving after coronavirus, let's say. And of course, some interesting stories, exciting stuff about a little bit on the medical side of the freediving. Again, we will be meeting on Friday, 3 o'clock Central European time. Rene, thank you very much for joining this session. It was absolutely a pleasure to do it with you.
For me also, Memo, thanks a lot.
Yeah. And for the ones who are going to watch it later, please don't hesitate to put your comments in the chat box. We will be answering them maybe a bit later, but we will be answering everything that you write later as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So see you next week.